Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to this meeting's council meeting, or this evening's council meeting, rather. Today is Tuesday, September 16th, and I'd like to welcome members of council, members of staff, those of you who are joining us in the gallery today, including members of the media, and we've got a great special welcome to all the members of the Wawa's Volunteer Fire Department, and of course, all the members joining us virtually today. So we do have a special presentation today, and we will get to that very, very shortly. We will start tonight's meeting with the Committee of Adjustment meeting agenda. But first, we will begin this meeting by acknowledging that we are gathering on the land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples since time immemorial. We would like to recognize that we are in the Robinson Superior Treaty Territory, and the land on which we are gathered today is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe. Specifically, we acknowledge the neighboring community of Mishpecon First Nation, for whom we have great respect. We also recognize the contributions of all Indigenous peoples, including the Métis, in shaping and strengthening the community and province of Ontario. Thank you, and miigwech. We'll now move on to item number 2, approval of agenda. 2.1, approval of the agenda.
Moved by Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Cannon. Resolved that the agenda for the Committee of Adjustment meeting, scheduled for Tuesday, September 16, 2025, be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 3, announcements. 3.1, Wawa Volunteer Fire Department 25 Years of Service Award for Pierre Gauthier. So, Pierre, without further ado, I'm going to ask you to join me up front on the screen here, and we will proceed with the award. So this evening, we are gathered to honor a man whose commitment, courage, and selflessness has stood as a shining example of service to our community. Deputy Fire Chief Pierre Gauthier has dedicated the past 25 years to protecting the residents of Wawa through his unwavering role in the Wawa Volunteer Fire Service. Beginning his journey as a volunteer firefighter in the year 2000, Pierre quickly distinguished himself through his dedication to training, readiness, and teamwork. Over the course of his service, he has responded to hundreds of emergency calls and devoted thousands of hours to training and preparation, ensuring that the people of Wawa could always depend on the fire department when it mattered the most. And I would like to add that I know that the fire department does provide service not only to Wawa's residents, but also to people, the province of Ontario, to the highways and byways, and to all of our other communities that we have mutual aid agreements with. So that's very, very important as well. But Pierre's legacy is measured in more than just numbers. His service reflects the heart of volunteerism, which is, we can't say enough about the volunteers in our community. They really are the heart and the core, and what really keeps our community is strong, is what it is. For 25 years, he has been willing to put himself at risk to answer the call at any hour and to step away from his family and his personal time. And his family is here today, his lovely spouse and his 2 beautiful boys, all in the name of safeguarding the people and the community that he so deeply cares for. On behalf of the Ministry of the Solicitor General and together with the Council of the Municipality of Wawa and our team, we are honored to present Pierre with the Fire Service Exemplary Medal and Certificate, a distinction that celebrates his quarter-century of faithful and dedicated service. On behalf of the Council, the people of Wawa, and our colleagues, we extend our heartfelt congratulations and deepest thanks for your 25 years of remarkable service. So, Mr. Sabrin, if you wanted to come up and present the service medal to Pierre.
Pierre, on behalf of the Solicitor General and North, give you 25 minutes.
Thank you very much.
And here we also have this wonderful certificate that hopefully you can hang somewhere with pride.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Next, I'd like Amanda to come up.
So for every good deed, I know Lisa, the spouse is really the backbone and really support the good work that's done.
Yeah, so here's a pin for you for your dedication allowing your husband leave at home at times.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great.
We recognize it as a family decision. So, and the province recognizes that it's a family decision. I feel like I should talk to you.
No, I'm honored and grateful, and, you know, I enjoy serving our community and helping our community out. That's why I got into it. This is, you know, this is home, so this is what it's for. So it's not just for me, it's for everybody in the community and people passing through that we've helped on the numerous calls that we've been on, so. And hopefully we keep going, and that's all we can do. Keep everybody safe and so everybody can go home to their families and loved ones.
Awesome. And to all of the
The best background. Oh, beautiful picture. Thank you. We'll share them.
And to all of the other firefighters here today, I think ceremonies like this, I think it's certainly to celebrate and acknowledge Pierre today, but it's to acknowledge you all as well, all of the other officers in uniform. We hope to have one of these ceremonies for every single one of you. We really appreciate all of the volunteer hours that you put in, because like we said today for Pierre, those comments reflect on every single one of your time, and we appreciate all the time and dedication that you put in. You know, this work doesn't, you know, it really does support our community. So thank you very much for everything that you do. Your work doesn't go unnoticed. We appreciate it. We know that it's a lot of work, and we hope to get everybody across the 25-year line. And at that point, we'll be celebrating Pierre's 50th. So, and as usual, I invite you all to stay for a regular council meeting. But if you don't want to, I understand. No hard feelings.
Thank you for the offer.
Congrats, Pierre.
And off goes your tie.
So with that said, that was a great way to kick off our meeting. We'll now move on to item number 4, declaration of pecuniary interest. Hearing and seeing none, we will move on to item number 5, approval of minutes. 5.1, Committee of Adjustment meeting, Tuesday, August 12th, 2025.
Moved by Councillor Cannon, seconded by Councillor Hoffman. Resolved that the following minutes of the Municipality of Wawa Committee of Adjustment be adopted as presented. Minutes of a Committee of Adjustment meeting held on Tuesday, August 16th, 2025, as contained on pages 1 to 3, inclusive of the minute book.
All in favor? Carried. There are no items listed under old business, so we will move on to new business, item number 7. 7.1, approve the actions of the Secretary Treasurer.
Moved by Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Cannon. Resolved that the Municipality of Wawa Committee of Adjustment does hereby approve the actions of the Secretary Treasurer with respect to the notification of the following applicant. Application for minor variance 8425-9 Arnott Avenue, Mr. Eric Gerstenberger, Plan M168, Lot 1559, Parcel 1156, in the Municipality of Wawa. The purpose of the minor variance application is to permit the construction of a fence located across the front and the side lot line measuring 3 feet 10 inches in height that exceeds the maximum front and side yard restrictions set out in the fencing bylaw 2471-11 under zoning designation residential as follows. The application is to increase the front and side yard fence height from 0.91 meters or 3 feet to 1.16 meters, 3 feet, 10 inches.
All in favor? Carried. 7.2, application for minor variance, A4-25, 9 Arnott. Mr. Saber?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'll just go over this report very quickly. It's a straightforward one. The owner of 9 Arnott is asking for a minor variance for the height on the fence in the front and side yard lot lines. The application's been considered with applicable provincial municipal legislation documents, including the provincial policy statement, the official plan, and the zoning bylaw of the municipality. The variance requested is for side and rear yard fence height. Requirement is 0.91 meters. He's proposing a 1.16 meter fence. Variance requested is 0.25 meters. The proposed section of fence is in the front and side yard of the property. The variance is minor in nature. It's desirable for the development and use of the land that is present. We received one external comment, which they had no concerns. Didn't receive any public comments at this time. Conclusion, the requested variance maintains the general intent and purpose of both the municipality of all official plan and zoning bylaw number 2821-15. The proposal is desirable for the appropriate development and use of land, building, or structure, and the requested variance is minor in nature. It is recommended that the minor variance application file number A4/25 for the property located at 9 Arnott Avenue be approved. Approval should be subject to the following conditions: that the appropriate variance applies only to the proposed fence height as shown on the approved drawings attached to the notice of decision. The owner applicant shall provide the building department with a copy of the decision of the Committee of Adjustment, together with a copy of the approved drawings when they make an application for a building permit. Council must amend fence bylaw 247111 to prevent the construction of the fence on the front and side yard at a height of 1.16 meters.
Thank you very much, Kevin. The applicant is with us today. Would you like to make any comment based on the information provided?
No, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a little bit of a footing on the ground. I was going to put the fence on top of the footing, and that's pretty well.
Wonderful. And there were no additional public comments?
No, not received today.
Is there any questions or comments from council? Hearing none, we will move on to item 7.3, approve application A4-25.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, second by Councillor Hoffman. Resolved that the minor variance application A4-25 submitted by Mr. Eric Gersten-Buchler for a minor variance to Ottawa zoning bylaw number 2821-15 as amended respecting 9 Arnott Avenue be approved with the following conditions. 1, the approved variance applies only to the proposed fence height as shown on the approved drawings attached to the notice of decision. 2, the owner shall provide the building permit with a copy of the decision of the Committee of Adjustment, together with a copy of the approved drawings when they make an application for a building permit. And 3, council must amend fence bylaw 2471-11 to permit the construction of the fence on the front and side yard at a height of 1.16 meters or 3 feet 10 inches.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 8, adjournment. 8.1, adjournment.
Moved by Councillor Cannon, second by Councillor Hatfield. Resolved that the meeting be adjourned at 6:44 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. We will now move on to our Committee of the Whole meeting agenda. Item 1, call the meeting to order and note the members present at 6:44 p.m. Item number 2, disclosure of pecuniary interest. I'd like to remind council that they can make a declaration at any point throughout the meeting. Item number 3, approval of the agenda. 3.1, approval of the agenda. May I please have somebody make a motion to approve? Counselor Hoffman? Counselor Cannon seconding? All in favor? Carried. Item number 4, delegations and presentations. While there is one noted on the agenda, we have received notification that unfortunately the individual making a delegation was unable to attend at last minute. So it's my recommendation to council that we table that until such time that the individual is able to make an appearance. I would suggest that the CAO, through the CAO, we continue to work with the individual. Does council have any objections to moving forward?
You should have a verbal motion just recorded that the majority of council agreed, so you could call it.
Can I have somebody make a motion if everyone is in alignment with that path forward? Councillor Cannon, seconded by Councillor Hoffman. All in favor? Carried. Item number 5, adoption of minutes. 5.1, Committee of the Whole meeting Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. May I have somebody make a motion to approve? Councillor Hatfield? Councillor Hoffman? All in favor? Carried. Item number 6, monthly reports. There are 4 monthly reports for review and consideration by council this evening. I will ask council if they have any questions or comments regarding the information provided. And I'll start at the end of the table here. Councillor Hoffman, do you have any questions?
Well, I just have a comment, and this afternoon I was told to pass along that people really enjoyed the flower boxes along Broadway this year, and they wanted to know what the greenery was that was hanging over the boxes. And I was told that it's potato vine.
Sweet potato vine, yeah.
Okay, so we're told they really like the greenery.
Thank you, Councillor.
Councillor Hatfield, do you have any questions or comments? Thank you. Councillor Cannon.
Hi.
Councillor Hatfield. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you. I just have a couple of comments too. I know, Kevin, that we talked about your pictures that you did with the Sir James Dunn Daycare. I just wanted to tell you, well done with that. The kids looked like they had a really good time, and I talked to a couple of kids, and they really enjoyed themselves. So
Thank you.
that was a good program to have. At least they're learning something. And Alex, you never got congratulated for the Canada Day celebration, because we haven't seen you, so congrats. It was your staff, to you and your staff, it was well done. And the marina dredging, are we going to get a final report on that?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. And I'm glad to see the TIC Center has been so busy this year. More than other years, I'm gathering. More people are staying, I guess, in Canada and traveling in Canada, so which is good to see. Heather, I can't wait to see the final assessment management plan in October. And Craig, sorry, I have so many. It says about the operations, I know I sound like a broken record. We did upgrade the washrooms to be accessible, but we still don't have a railing at the front. I don't know how the rest of council feels, but I have brought this up.
At the airport.
Yes, I would like to see a railing for those stairs. If we're gonna be accessible, we might as well be fully accessible. I know they have a garbage can at the top of the stairs, but I'm not about to hang on to the garbage can to go up the stairs, so
And that's on the ramp itself, or is it on the stairs itself?
there really isn't a ramp.
There isn't, but there is. It's not really a professional.
Yeah, so it doesn't make it accessible, and just because we updated the bathrooms to be accessible, I think we
You need to have
should,
the entrance accessible.
I would like to see it.
Good, well, I'll make note of that, Kathy, and we'll look into that for you.
Thank you. And Maggie, Looks like you've been very busy since you've come on board. And I look forward to seeing your reports of all your priorities and how that turns out.
Absolutely, I'll be happy to share them, thank you. Awesome, thank you very much, Councillor Cannon. I do not have anything to add, and I thought that the monthly reports were great, but I echo all of the other comments from council. Item number 7, new business, 7.1, CAO 2025-10, municipal accommodation tax third-party entity update. Warren, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and thank you, Mayor, and to you and council. This is an informational report tonight. This is just to bring council information about our staff's recent efforts to engage the community regarding developing a third-party entity for the municipal accommodation tax. And we're not looking for any council recommendation or direction tonight, just sharing. We are continuing to investigate what the best option for this community will be in terms of the third-party entity, which under legislation will receive 50% or more of the municipal accommodation tax collected. As Heather reported to council at the last meeting, we're over 90% collecting our municipal accommodation tax from our accommodation operators, which include motels and short-term accommodators. We have approximately $80,000 collected, and that's to cover the period April to the end of June. And we'll be looking forward to everyone continuing to do such a great job in reporting their accommodation tax remittances to our Treasury Department by the end of the year. So we had a recent meeting with the accommodation operators. We invited all the motels and all the short-term operators, which is about 35 entities in the community, to come out to a roundtable last week. In terms of the roundtable discussions, there were some very open, frank discussions, frustration shared by some of the user groups. But in the end, I provided council with the summary generated by the computer of that meeting, so council can read tonight. It's attached to my report of the comments made. I think two things I would summarize for council is certainly there seems to be frustration being expressed from the motel operators around the fact that we haven't, as a community, identified the third-party option, and that we haven't set out clearly as a municipality what any MAT collected would be absolutely spent on in terms of that 50% under the responsibility of council. So frustrations were shared, but overall at the end of the meeting, I believe that we had an open and frank discussion. We shared some third-party entity options in the community. Under legislations, there's really only two options. One is not-for-profit incorporated body under the Corporations Act gets formed, or you use an existing incorporated body that has under its what's called its charter, letters patent when you incorporate, has to clearly have that it is formed for the purpose of promoting tourism in its charter. So there's the one option of using an incorporated body, or the second, council has the option, if it doesn't believe that there is an entity that fits the purpose that is required, it can form what's called a municipal services corporation. So essentially at the meeting, I shared the legislation that provides council with the authority to collect the MAT tax and to oversee how that third-party entity is formed and how it manages the money. I think it was a great discussion. I point out to council, I've attached my presentation I made, and that staff does intend to continue to communicate with the users in the community as well as the community at large about how best to form an entity that for the benefit of the community uses these funds as we all would like, and that would be ultimately the goal of making sure that we're working to grow and support our tourism economy. I will be meeting with Ray of the Outdoorsman tomorrow, and working in partnership with him as he was identified as the primary spokesman for the motel operators. So we're continuing our discussion and outreach with other entities. So I'm happy to share with council the results of that meeting. And although, certainly there was some frank discussion, I think it was an excellent meeting, and I appreciate the council's, trust and faith in the staff to do what it can to make sure that we're communicating with everybody in the community, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Maureen.
I have a question, Melanie.
Certainly, I'll just start, and thank you very much, Councillor Hopfield. Councillor Hoffman, did you have any questions or comments?
Nope.
Okay. Councillor Hatfield?
Yes, after Maury, after speaking with Melanie this afternoon, I was glad to hear. I understood your report and I was at the meeting, and I'm under the full understanding that you are still looking at the motels to form this committee.
So thank you, Councillor Hatfield. Included in the package, thank you for pointing it out. I intended to remind council that attached to your package was a letter of intent signed by 13 motel operators that is in council's package where they state that they would like to form an association to be considered as a third-party entity. After the meeting, as other options for a third-party entity were presented, there seems to be more interest from some of the motel operators to look at the third-party entity that we used as an example, and that is using Superior East Community Futures Development Corporation, who does have a charter letters patent that meet the legislation to promote tourism in the community. They're the entity that Chapel uses to look after the 50% of the MAT, and that example was shared at the meeting. So yes, we will continue to work with Ray and all motel operators as well as the community at large on bringing a recommendation back to council on what we believe would be the best third-party option. And so the motel operators letter will be considered in that, and we intend to report back to council in October.
Well, are the motel owners still going to be involved in that, or?
I will have to clarify with Ray Valiant, I believe is his name, with the outdoorsmen. We'll have some discussions tomorrow, and I look forward to reporting back to council.
Because I was under the understanding that you will accept the motel owners and they will form a corporation, and then you and them will work together for a third-party entity. That's what I understood.
Well, thank you. And as I say in my report to Mayor and Council, the letter is now in Council's hand, and my recommendation is my report is that it is premature at this time until we do more research for Council to make a decision about accepting that as the third-party entity tonight. So
I didn't want to accept it tonight, but I was confused in your report because I was at the meeting, and that's what I understood. Yes, the motel owners could be, get the 50% and get somebody, they're going to form a corporation, and then they will get a third-party entity to take care of the money. And that's what I was told, and that's what I understood. But now you're saying that they might not be the people to take care of the 50%?
I am saying that staff is still examining other options for the third-party entity. And so there's no predetermination. I'm not, as the staff person, responsible to respond back to council on this matter, that there hasn't been a decision made, nor is there a recommendation being tonight. So the model that they presented is one model. We are continuing to examine if that model will work. As I explained at the meeting, Amir, and if you don't mind, I'd just like to give a little explanation. As it was explained, it must be an incorporated body. They're not incorporated. It does take time and money and effort, and that will be one model that we will present to council as an option. But ideally, no decision has been made, and after we do continued research and engagement with the community at large, staff will come back with what we believe is the best for this community as a recommendation, and then it's left in council's hands. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
So, and if I could also add, and then I'll pass it to Councillor Cannon for additional questions. I understood that the group of motel owners was also going to organize a meeting with Superior East so they could also investigate that option. So there's a couple different options on the table, and investigation is everybody's investigating the best path to move forward. And so council will receive a recommendation at a later date.
I have to say one thing, Laura, if you don't mind. I think the motel owners are going to take care of the money very well. And one person told me, as far as incorporating, it's a phone call for him, and that was Ray. He said it's not a problem to be incorporated. And then he said, a third entity with the money, he doesn't have a problem with that either. So that's why I'm surprised that you're looking at another group of people to look into that net tax. And I'm thinking, no, it's motel owners. I was positive that's what the group meetings were all about.
And if I may, Mayor, in response, no decision has been made, and we will be meeting with Ray tomorrow. Alex and I have a meeting scheduled with Ray. We are continuing, we're in the research phase, the discussion phase, so we will come back with council considering what the motel operators put forward with a recommendation at a future date.
Yeah, I'm just so happy that they came and they were very vocal and they, very sane. After 2 years of nothing, they said, now this is all coming up. Yeah, we are interested. Yes, we want to do this. So I was excited, but I'm confused with your letter. But that's okay. I hope I'm wrong.
Thank you.
Councillor Cannon?
I just want to say, first off, I look forward to seeing what all parties do in the future, because it will benefit Wawa, and that's the bottom line. Everybody is on this committee and speaking up because they care about their town. And moving forward, we're not moving backwards, we're moving forward. It will help this town in the future, I believe. And I just want to say that if they do form their own entity, it should be made up with members who are in good standing. It should not just be anybody that wants to go on the committee. Everybody that goes on that committee should be in good standing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Cannon. I would like to echo your comments. I think I'm absolutely aligned. I do think that this is a really good process, and I did attend the meeting. And one thing, the takeaway, because the takeaway from the meeting, and I did speak with a number of hotel owners, and I did ask for a summary to be written from their point of view, and it really was quite aligned with the summary, is that all of the motel owners look forward to working collaboratively with the municipality. So that is, I think, the real takeaway from this whole process. And I think a lesson learned moving forward is that we will be stronger through this process, and we will have learned a lot, but I think together we're going to it's going to be a positive outcome, and I think it's going to benefit not only the hotel owners and short-term accommodation owners, but the municipality as well, and all staff. So definitely, some lessons learned on maybe how we would go about a process like this the next time, but that's how you learn all good lessons in life, is through experience.
Yep.
So we'll get there, and I absolutely have no doubt about that. And that was, we had Alex and Maury had organized somebody from TIO, a subject matter expert, to come on the call, and that was one of the key takeaways that he left with. But he's done this all across the province, and we're not the only one who's had conversations like this. We won't be the first, and we certainly won't be the last. So I don't want to have anybody around this table, and certainly not anybody around the accommodations and short-term rental table have any kind of bad taste in their mouth. Is that together we will get through this, and we will be better for it. So I'll just leave it there. I understand that this item was for discussion only. You're not asking for any kind of decision from council today. We'll look forward that to the month of October. And I think on behalf of council, I just want to thank you for bringing this to the table for discussion so quickly on the heels of the public engagement. And I think more public engagement is the only way we're going to be building trust with the constituents. So seeing some shaking heads, I think we're in agreement for that. So So with that said, we will move on to item number 8. Next meeting date, 8.1, Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. And number 9, adjournment, 9.1, close of meeting. Closing the meeting at 7:05 p.m. May I please have somebody make a motion to move? Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Cannon, all in favor? Carried. We'll now take a moment to move on to our regular council meeting agenda. Item number 1, call the meeting to order and note the members present at 7:06 p.m. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. Hearing and seeing none, approval of the agenda. 3.1, approval of the agenda.
Moved by Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Cannon. Resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of council scheduled for Tuesday, September 16th, 2025 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Announcements and giving of notice. There are a number of announcements that I encourage everybody to take a look at on the agenda. Are there any other announcements? Councillor Cannon?
I just want to say on October 2nd, the first of many, I hope, is the Boo Bus that is going to the Sioux with 24 women for the first ride and for their mammograms in the Sioux. And like I said before, this is free of charge, the transportation. And we leave at 7:30 in the morning from the community center, and we come back, we leave the Sioux at 4:30 in the afternoon. And until we get a bus back in Wawa for the Screen for Life coach, this is what we have worked hard to come up with. So I'm just happy to say that the first one is going out on October 2nd, and I'll be on that bus.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Could I make a comment here?
Yes, you can.
Kathy, you're very humble in your way you present things. You did an absolute great thing. You started all this. You got the right people on board, and a job well done.
Great job. Are there any other announcements? I would like to make an announcement. Wawa, specifically our famous Wawa Goose, was recognized as one of the top 3 finalists in the Great Canadian Landmark Contest. And we will be recognized and receive an honorable mention at the Communities in Bloom Symposium and Awards event. The event will take place in Stratford on October 18th. Unfortunately, I don't believe that they're making any. There's no time in the agenda for those who are receiving honorable mentions. They're only recognized place during the award ceremony. But so there's no need for us to all get on a bus and go down or anything. But hopefully next year. But I just wanted to take the time to announce that we did crack the top 3 and to really give Alex and his team props for really pushing that. I think that was it was a fun contest. It was great, and I know Alex and the folks down at the community center really pushed that on Facebook. And then these types of contests really play a great role in civic pride and community engagement. People were voting every day and really trying to get us to the top. And people throughout Canada really voted hard to get us there. So congratulations, Alex. It's always fun to be recognized, and I mean, everybody loves the Wawa Goose. So
Who won?
Who won? Oh, I'm not even sure who won. Maureen, do we know who won?
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
I think it was a community with a treble clef. When I looked at the pictures, I can find out. And not us.
True.
So, exciting news for us to share. And with that, we will move on to item number 5, adoption of minutes. 5.1, regular council meeting, Tuesday, September 16th, 2025.
Moved by Councillor Cannon, seconded by Councillor Hoffman. Resolved that the following minutes of the meetings of council be adopted as presented. Minutes of a regular meeting of council held on Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, as contained on pages 1 to 5, inclusive of the minute book.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 6, correspondence. There are 3 different items listed on the agenda as correspondence. As always, I'll ask Maureen to highlight any items listed that we should pay extra special attention to.
Thank you, Mayor, and correspondence has been pretty heavy over the summer, but it was a little light the last couple of weeks, so you only have 3 letters. I note for council, we did have a technical difficulty with our software program uploading. Item 6.1 and 6.2, you'll see on your agenda, it looks like it was duplicated, so I have provided you with print copies. The first letter is from the municipality of Tweed, and it's regarding working together with other councils on sustainable waste management in Ontario. In that resolution, they're calling for the creation of a provincial working group composed of municipalities, provincial federal governments, and manufacturers to explore as one option clean incineration, stronger recycling programs, and other sustainable waste practices. And they're looking for support from municipal councils across Ontario to advocate for more immediate action from all levels of government to help us solve our waste issues. So a very interesting letter from the municipality of Tweed at 6.1. And then 6.2 is the municipality of Blue Water, and it's just a resolution. Right letter. It is a letter to Premier Ford and Minister Calandra about closing before and after school programs. Some school programs in Southern Ontario, it appears that they were closed, so it's just a resolution from the municipality of Blue Water looking for support of having a voice of the province to make sure that after-school programs remain in place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions or comments from council regarding correspondence?
Comment.
Councilor Hatfield?
Maury, I really like these letters that come down and say we could work together. But it seems that it stops in the Soo because we're so far from everything and it costs so much money. So if you do talk to them, just say, can you come up with an extra $1 million that we can do recycling for? It's just a really good idea, but it's hard to do.
Councillor Cannon, Councillor Hoffman? With that said, we'll move on to item number 7, consent agenda. 7.1, approval of the consent agenda.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Cannon, resolved that the item listed under the consent agenda 7.2 be approved as recommended.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 8, staff report / memos. 8.1, receive staff report / memos.
Moved by Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Hatfield, resolved that council does hereby receive the following staff reports and memos. A, Protective Services Department, KS 9 August monthly report. Community Services Department, AP 2025-11, July-August monthly report. Finance Department, HR 2025-05, August monthly report. Infrastructure Services Department, CH 2025-11, August monthly report. Economic Development, MC 2025-02, quarterly report. And finally, CAO 2025-10, Municipal Accommodation Tax Third-Party Entity Update.
Are there any questions? All in favor? Carried. There are no items listed under new business, so we will move on to item number 10, bylaws. 10.1, first, second, and third reading.
Moved by Councillor Cannon, second by Councillor Hoffman. Resolved that the following bylaws be introduced and read a first, second, and third time and finally passed, and that the mayor and clerk do sign and seal the same. Any rule of this council to the contrary notwithstanding. Bylaw number 3818-25 to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on the 16th day of September 2025. Bylaw number 3819-25 to authorize civil marriage solemnization service in the municipality of Wawa. And bylaw number 3820-25 to adopt. Municipality Wawa Policy PR-005, the municipal flag and proclamation policy.
All in favor? Carried. The next meeting date will be Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. And we will move to adjourn 12.1, close of meeting.
Moved by Councillor Hoffman, second by Councillor Cannon, resolved that the meeting closed at 7:15 PM.
All in favor? Carried.